Okay, so number 3 says name each angle in 4 ways. So you should be able to name it in 4. We can always name it by just the vertex. Which one is the vertex? J. So we can name it angle J, angle 2. Okay, and then for the other 2 ways, you start at one dot and work your way, look at me, work your way like to the other dot. Okay, or you can start at the other dot and work your way to the other dot. Okay, so kind of like connect the dots. So if we start at one dot and work our way, what is that going to be? KJI. Okay, and then what? IJK. Okay, notice how the J is always in the middle. The vertex has to be in the middle when we name it. Okay, so those are the 4 ways that we can name it. Okay, 5 and 6 say state if the given point is interior, exterior, or on the angle. Okay, so it's either going to be like on the inside of the mouth, which is interior, on the outside here, which is exterior, or on the angle means it's somewhere on the line. So if we look at 5, is that interior, exterior, or on the angle? Exterior. It is exterior, so we can just write an E. Okay, that one's exterior. I know. Okay, so the next ones look funny because I didn't write it on there, but just because I wanted to use some of the space to write. Okay, so we have, these are all the options. Okay, this is called a point. Okay, this is a line. Okay, and when we do a line, it could be AB or BA. Okay, or if it was ABC, you could call it AB, BC, CA, okay, any combination of the points, okay? Okay, this is called a segment, if you remember. Okay, and the segments are just like the lines. You could say AB, BA, CA, any combination of the ends, okay? So any combination of the 2 points, okay? We have array. Okay, so the rays are very particular about how you name them, okay? So, and I'm going to just draw down here, don't write this stuff down, but if we have a ray that's like this, okay, when we label the ray, you pick a starting point, okay? So you can call it A, and then you have to use the last point that it goes through. So the only option is going to be A. D is the last point that it goes through at the very end before the arrow. Okay? You could choose and start with B, and it would be B, D. Okay? Or C, D. Okay? We cannot do A, C. Because is C the last point that it goes through? No. Okay? So if I were to draw this again, okay, I could say... Okay, how could we label this? YC or XC. Those are the only 2 options. Okay, and when we label it, really it goes like this: XZ, and it has a little arrow above it. Okay, the reason that the arrowhead is above the Z is because that's the last point that it goes through. Okay, so this would be like AD. Okay, so rays are very, very specific about how we name them. Okay. Okay, so this is a ray. And then lastly, we have a plane. Okay. Okay. Okay, the plane, it can be, you use 3 points for a plane. They have to be on the inside of the square, and they all have to be capitalized, okay? So those are the 3 rules for a plane. They have to be on the inside of the square, 3 points, and they all have to be capital letters, Okay, so if you need to write that down, then write it down. Okay, so we need 3 of them. They have to be capital and inside. Okay, and so I'm going to label some of these just so we can. Okay, so how could we name this plane? Who does not qualify? We cannot use that letter.
C or whatever the top one is.
C or A, B, C, D, E. Okay, we cannot use C or E. So you can use any combination of whatever's left. So how could I do that?
ABD.
ABD. What else? DBA. What else? ADB. Okay, so any combination of those. Okay, but we cannot use anything else. So C and E are not allowed. Okay. So 7 and 8, you can kind of just scribble off because I use that for notes. But okay. So is there another way to rename the line AB? So a line is going to look like this. AB. Is there another way to rename it? BA. You can call it BA. Okay, so this is how your answer should look, BA. I just drew the picture, but. Okay, and then I'm going to draw you a picture here. You can take a picture of it or just answer it real quick. Okay, so we got the plane. Okay, so you rename that one on number 10, okay? So either take a picture of it or draw it out real quick. And if you remember, it's got to be inside the square, a capital letter, and you have to use 3 of them. Okay, is how you would name it.
Do we only do one or as many as possible?
Just one.
Okay.
Okay, 11. All of these ones are segment addition. Okay, and so it's going to be, you take a little one plus a little one equals a big one. Okay, so we say little plus little equals big. Okay, so what is our first little one? 3. What's the second little one? A question mark. Okay, so we could say X equals the big one. Okay, little plus little equals big. Okay, then what? This is definitely the lowest, the slowest way. Okay, so we would move it. So -3, -3. 11 minus 3. 8. Okay, and if we think about it, 3 plus what gives me 11? 8. Okay, or 11 minus 3, you could just do, gives you that too.
Do we have to work it out or?
You don't on this one, no.
Okay.
I just did so that way you had it for notes. Got the paper. Okay, so if we look at 13, we can say little plus little equals big. So x plus 18, and I did not leave you enough room, so write small. Plus x plus 18 equals, my big one is 20. Okay, who can get combined?
The X's.
X's, so 1x plus 1x
2X.
is 2x. 18 plus 18, 36
Yeah, I can't read.
equals 20. Okay, then what?
I'll subtract the 36.
Minus 36 from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x equals negative 16. And then what?
Divide.
Divide by 2. So we get x equals negative 8. Okay, what do the instructions tell you to do?
Solve for X.
Solve for x, okay, did we do that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so, the instructions are an important part of it, okay, that way you know when to stop or keep going. Okay, and I apologize, because I just did like an automatic spacing, and so some of these, they didn't know it takes more math than others, so, just know I didn't leave you that further. Okay, 15 is essentially the same, okay, we're gonna say the little plus the little equals the big, okay, and again, leave yourself some room to write. Okay, because I did not, okay, so write small. Okay, so we got 2x plus 15 plus 10 equals x plus 19. Okay, we're gonna combine first, the 15 and the 10, so I'm gonna get 2x plus 25 equals 1x plus 19. Okay, who needs moved? Who needs moved?
But
The 1x? Who else?
25.
The 25. Okay, so 2x minus 1x
it's one X.
is 1x. 19 minus 25 is negative 6. Okay, so even if we divide both sides by 1, my answer is still going to be what?
-6.
Negative 6. Okay, so this is my answer as far as the x goes. However, what do the instructions tell us to find? ln. Okay, so it says find ln. So take a second, look at your picture. Which one is ln? Is that the little one, or the big one?
The big one.
It's the big one. And which does the big one say?
X plus 19.
X plus 19. So it's really going to be what?
6 minus 19.
-6.
Negative 6 plus 19. So ln is x plus 19. And I'm just writing this out the long way, but so negative 6 plus 19, which is what? 13. Okay, now, if you were to look at your picture, you know that the big one now is 13, and you know one of the small ones is 10. So what does the other small one have to be? 3. Okay, so even if you didn't plug in ln and you did lm, okay, you could still figure out what the big one was without it. Okay, so once you have 2 of them, you can definitely figure out the third one. Okay, 17 says find the midpoint. Okay, make sure you write down this formula. Okay, the formula goes like this. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay, so write it down, that way you have it on the day of your test. Okay, we can go ahead and label X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, so I'm going to say y2 minus y1. So negative 8 minus 6. Negative 8 minus 6 over 3 minus 1.
-7.
Okay, type that in your calculator, see what you get.
-7.
Negative 7? Okay, one thing I just want you to keep in your brain. What does it say to find? A midpoint. So what that really is it gives you 2 dots. They want you to find the middle. So they gave you an end and an end. They want you to find the middle. Okay, so that means that this is an end point and an end point. Okay, because it seems like some of you guys struggle when it says find the other endpoint, okay? Keep in mind, it's still the same formula, this one just gave us the middle, okay? So, if we look at 19, it's still the same as this one, okay, you're gonna use that formula, you just need to find the coordinates first, okay? So we start at 0, 0, how much do I have to go left or right?
Right.
1 to the right,
Down one.
down 1. Hey, when do I have a negative?
When you
When
go
we go down or
left.
left, okay? So this one we went right, so that's gonna be a positive 1, okay? And we went down 1, so a negative 1. Okay, to get to this one, we're gonna go to the
Right.
right 4, so positive 4,
Down.
down 2, so negative 2. Okay, and then we're gonna go through and label and do it just like we just did with this other problem. Okay, we're gonna say x1, y1, x2, y2. We got 6 left, okay, we're almost done.
Negative 1 over 3.
Negative 1 over 3, bless you. Bless you, Vinny,
Thank you, Miss Henning.
bless you.
I didn't hear
You need some extra Jesus.
I know.
Man, I really did not leave enough room on some of these. Okay, 21, write small, okay? So we're gonna label these x1, y1, x3, y3, okay, because it's a midpoint. So we're using this formula. x1 plus x2 over 2 equals x3. Okay, y1 plus y2 over 2 equals y3. And those are the formulas that we're using. Okay, if you have to go down into 23 a little bit, 23's answer is gonna be really small. Okay, so starting with the x's, what is my x1? 2 plus, what is my x2?
That's 5.
We don't know it, it's not labeled on there.
Oh.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2 plus x2 over 2 equals, what is my x3?
5.
5, okay? Okay, so there's always 2 steps on these. The first step is gonna be to multiply, the second step is either add or subtract. Okay, those are the 2 steps every single time, and multiply, then add or subtract. So our first step is gonna be to multiply by 2 on both sides. So times 2 times 2. So I got 2 plus x2 equals 10. And then am I gonna add or subtract? Subtract 2 from both sides. So I get x2 equals 8. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing with all of the y's. Okay, we're gonna do this exact same thing with all the y's. Okay, so I'm gonna get y1. Y1 is 8 plus my y2, I don't know, over 2 equals my y3. What is my y3? Negative 4. Okay, we're gonna multiply both sides by 2 and then either add or subtract. Okay, so times 2 times 2. So I got 8 plus y2 equals negative 8. And then am I gonna add or subtract? Subtract 8 from both sides. So I get y2 equals negative 16. Okay, if you need to, take a picture of this. If you're not gonna be able to write it all on yours, you can write it somewhere else on this sheet. Okay, okay, and then lastly, just so I don't forget, you do have to write this as a coordinate. So the coordinate is gonna be 8, comma, negative 16 is really your answer, okay, or would be your answer on the answer key. Okay, 23 says draw and label an angle to fit each description. What does an obtuse angle look like?
Big.
It looks really wide and big. What does a right angle look like?
90
A 90 degrees, okay, and it's gonna have a what? What does it have to have on the inside?
A square.
The little square, okay? And then an acute angle,
Small.
it's gonna be really small, okay? So we got really small, 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 90, and then really, really big, okay? So it just wants you to draw an obtuse angle. Okay, what has got to go here at the middle?
T.
T. Okay, so TSU. Okay, so T has to go in the middle because it's called what? The vertex.
Yeah.
Okay, so T is the vertex. Okay, classify each angle as acute, obtuse, right, or straight. Okay, and acute is less than what?
90.
Okay, it's less than 90. Obtuse is more than 90. Right is 90, straight is 180.
Straight is 180.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so 180, what kind is that? It says it gives you 180, so which one is that? It's a straight. Okay, 27, what does it look like?
Or IQ.
Acute. Okay, it looks less than 90, so this one's gonna be acute. Okay, and then we're gonna stop here for today. Okay, so 1 through 28 should be done on your side